What's happening, boys? In this video we've got a very special interview with a six-figure copywriter who started copywriting around about the same time that I did earlier this year. I'm going to be speaking to him, I'm going to be asking him a few questions. How did he start? How much money does he make? What advice does he have for you guys? And I hope that you can take away from this interview some inspiration to help you get started on your copywriting journey, because this guy is an absolute genius. So stick around and listen to the things he has to say, because he has mastered the art of copywriting like I have never seen before in such a short space of time. So I'm going to invite him to this call. I will see you when Grant appears. What's happening, Grant? How are we doing?
Good, bro. How are you?
Good, man. So just tell everyone a little bit about yourself. You know, what do you do? How did you start, etc. Just give everyone an introduction, and then I'm gonna fire a few questions at you, put you on the spot.
Word. So I'm gonna stay pretty straightforward here. I'm only 21 years old. Turned 21 back in March. I started copywriting back in February, and since then I've been a freelancer, and now I'm just trying to elevate, get better every day.
Beautiful. So when did you start? Like, how did you get into copywriting? Talk me through the process.
So it's pretty simple. Everybody's probably gone into this sort of realm in a similar way. But I was literally just sat in my ex's bed in fucking January, scrolling on TikTok, and I found some sort of fucking guru that actually made a little bit of sense about copywriting, enough to convince me to get into it, because I've been a pretty good writer throughout my whole career in school. So I was like, this side hustle looks like something I could actually make work. And so I tapped into his free value on TikTok, joined a course, bought a mentor, which, side note, if anybody is willing to invest in themselves, that's the number one thing. If you can find somebody who isn't a fucking scam, who already walks the road that you want to walk, I would suggest investing in yourself and buying a mentor, because that's ultimately what led me to where I'm at today. But I started my copywriting journey officially back in February, and I signed my first client towards the end of February, beginning of March.
Beautiful. So just talking through that process of signing your first client, you know, what learning materials did you use to improve your etiquette in copywriting, and just explain to me how you went about closing that client and what work you did for them.
So to be honest, whenever I started, I had it in my head that I was not at a good skill level whatsoever. I just decided to pump out outreach as quickly as possible and sign my first client as fast as possible, because volume negates everything. It negates luck, it negates your skill level. If you just get your face out there and get used to actually reaching out to these business owners, you're going to improve during your outreach, during doing it like realistically. And so I did that shit religiously until I came across somebody that I've personally known since the 5th grade. So it was sort of a warm outreach. Like, me and him have already known of each other, not really like best friends with him, but I noticed that he started a huge lawn care business like 2 years ago, back in 2022. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna reach out to him. I had his Snapchat. So I've already been doing outreach on Instagram, email a couple of times before I reached out to him. But when I did reach out to him, I ended up like booking a fucking sales call, I guess you could say it. But we met up in real life. We went to dinner and I closed him there. And it was fucking game over from there. After that, the learning materials I would suggest using, just practicing copy each and every day. Like, even if you have the busiest day ever, if you have to work like a fucking 12-hour shift or some shit, or you get caught up in just life in general, just make sure you write something every day. As long as you're writing something and improving and being consistent, there is no way that you're going to fail.
That's what I mean. And people, they've got no excuse, you know. Even if you work 12 hours a day, you still get a dinner break. Sit there in your dinner break and write an email. Keep practicing. It's exactly what I did when I first started. I was constantly practicing all the time. There was no room for excuses. If you're working a 12-hour shift, get up 30 minutes early. You might only have 6 hours sleep that night, but who cares? You don't need sleep. Get up, focus on what you're doing. There is no excuse.
Yeah, when I was starting out, I was literally in college. I'm still in fucking college. I was in my junior year, having classes every day. I worked a full-time job, and I had other shit going on in my life at the time, but I still made it work. And on those days where I had literally no time to myself to work on copy, like sit there for a couple hours and actually soak in some knowledge and improve, I would just literally go around, walk around my campus, look at billboards. I'll take pictures of those, go back, and whenever I was about to go to sleep that night, I would rewrite those billboards just in my own words. And those are like little tips that helped me out on my copywriting journey.
And that's one of those things as well, you know, it's good for us to talk about silly little things like that now that we've made it, but people will hold themselves back because they'll feel stupid doing stuff like that. I mean, you know, imagine walking around a campus and taking pictures of billboards so that you can rewrite the marketing writing. It sounds ridiculous, but it's those little steps that you took on your learning journey that have got you where you are today. And that's one thing that I'd say to everyone watching.
You're gonna feel like a dickhead whenever you're practicing and doing this outlandish shit. But to be able to change and make the amount of money that you truly desire to be at, is you gotta have to change as a person as well. And that means like doing stupid shit like that. Like I would probably look like a schizophrenic from somebody who's actually normal, just doing their day-to-day life, because I would go home, fucking rewrite billboards, fucking listen to podcasts at the gym. Like, I'm not listening to music at the gym. I'm listening to David Garfinkel's podcast, taking all these notes and implementing it into my practice later on. Like, I look like a complete tard to my friends who are in college as well.
Fuck them. They're in college. What are they learning how to do? A £40,000 a year, $40,000 a year skill, working 30 hours a week. Just going off that now, right, at 21 years old, just explain the situation that you are in now. How much money are you making and how much work do you have to actually do to earn the money that you make?
So like I said, I started back in February and I signed clients, and then after I signed that one client that I knew of, he gifted me the opportunity to show up to his in-person networking events that he hosted every first Thursday of the month. And so I would go to those, and that's where I found the majority of my other clients. I'll stack one or two here and there. I didn't really know what I was doing at the end of the day. I mean, I was an exceptional copywriter, but I didn't really have that problem-solving technique in my head that the business owners actually really crave. And so I would sign a client here and there, maybe one or two on fucking cold outreach like Instagram, but I really preferred that in-person, face-to-face, warm outreach, basically, at the networking events. And then, so it took a lot of trial and error, but come fucking July, this past July, I made $8,000 going to these networking events. One being the fucking first of the Thursday event that he would throw every month, and then two being at this local fucking networking event that's hosted every Tuesday and Thursday in my city, which I don't know if you have the opportunity to have something like that, but if you do, take full advantage of that, because that's what I did. And I schemed up a fucking idea. I found like two services that business owners really crave, and I just went pumping and dumping clients to the point where I was signing rev share after rev share, and I stacked it up to $8,000 that month. And now I'm just in the process of elevating and trying to monetize my knowledge pretty much, because I'm not trying to stop at like, let's say 10, 12 grand per month just doing freelance shit, because you can get up to those heights just being one person going to sign clients. But I think that's a pain in the ass, and at a certain point you're going to be making a shit ton of money, but you're going to be working basically 9 to 5 hours at the end of the day.
And that is exactly why I'm a chiller. You know, everyone that watches my content, everyone that's signed up to my newsletter, every single one of you knows that I am lazy, right? I'm the laziest person in the world. Right now I've got 4 retainers. I'm probably working about 3 hours a day. That's 3 hours too much for me. I am lazy. So this is the good thing about copywriting. You know, you can make a good killing working as a copywriter, but you don't have to do a lot of work. You know, if you wanted to earn 50 grand a month working 38 hours a week, that's your prerogative. Me personally, I'm lazy. I like making 6 grand a month working a couple of hours a day. I'm chilling, man. I think that's the best thing about copywriting overall, is that you can choose to work when you want, how you want, and when you want. And I think for me it's the biggest selling point, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's sick because you do all your work from home, and then it's like the money magically appears into your account.
It's crazy,
like
isn't it?
Yeah, my parents know about all this shit that I'm doing. I mean, I've given them a brief understanding, but like I remember specifically asking me like, "Do you sell drugs, Grant? Like, what are you doing?" Like, because I mean, I'm still 21 years old. They fucking be looking at my bank account, making sure I'm not an idiot, and they see like $1,000 deposits, and they're like, "You selling drugs? Like, what are you doing, buddy?"
Yeah.
I had to explain to them, "No, I'm writing fucking emails."
Yeah. That's how crazy this is, man. It's honestly, it's the best thing that you can get into in 2024, honestly. And for all of those that are saying that AI is going to take over copywriting as well, this is something that I wanted to address. Grant, explain why AI is fucking shit and why it is not going to take over copywriting.
Well, my perspective on that whole thing, the AI taking over, I mean, it had the chance to. It still does have the chance. I mean, AI is still very new, and it's improving every fucking month to a scary rate, to be honest. But I look at AI kind of as a tool. I mean, the way to explain it is like, do you think AI or calculators are going to take over mathematicians? No. I mean, mathematicians use calculators as a tool.
Exactly.
So that's the same way like how a copywriter can use AI as a tool. Because at the end of the day, I like calling copywriting its own language. You're learning a whole new language at the end of the day. And fucking AI has not been fluent in that shit. I mean, it can write you an email, but I guarantee you it's going to sound like some NPC shit in the state that it's at right now. So just use AI as a tool. Don't use it to write all your emails, because that shit does not convert. Trust me, I've tried it. It does not work.
So if you've got something to say to everyone that's watching this, everyone that was in the same position that we were at the start of this year, got into copywriting, they're interested in starting it, but they don't know where to begin, what would be your best advice to everyone?
Find a mentor, find somebody who is legitimate, can show proof that they actually make money through copywriting, and they're at the point in their life, in which you want to be at a certain point in your life. So, like I said, take it up with somebody who's walking in the same shoes as you eventually want to walk in, and then they'll teach you everything. Obviously, always stay consistent. Like, even if it's 1 hour a day, if you're staying consistent 1 hour a day, learning and improving and doing outreach and reaching out to businesses, it's better than, let's say, taking 5 hours or 6 hours a day and just putting all your effort into that for one day and then being burnt out the rest and not staying consistent, like doing 5 hours one day and 0 the next. It's better to do 1 hour every single day than doing that shit.
Yeah.
And just fucking always believe in yourself, always bet on yourself. And you're going to want to have to think bigger, because a lot of people are trapped in the same mindset as them and all their peers, which is at the bottom level, fucking go to school, get a 9-to-5 job, like live a comfortable life. You have to realize, like, there's people the same age as you doing big shit, so why can't you do the same thing? And you have to convince yourself that you fucking can, and that you just need to think bigger. You could always think bigger.
100%, mate. I massively agree with you. Right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out Grant's TikTok as well. He's posting some free sauce every single day on his social media, and I'm telling you now, this guy is an absolute wizard. He understands copywriting like you wouldn't believe. He's only been doing this for a few months, but I'm telling you, he's one of the best copywriters that you can take advice from in 2024. So check out his social media page. If you want to learn any more, check out the description as well. As Grant said, a good thing to do is get into a mentorship. And so what I am offering is a free one-to-one call with anyone that needs one. You don't have to pay a penny. Check the link in the description if you want to book a call with me and just get some free advice. I'm happy to do so, but this offer is only going to last this week, because if it stays on the internet forever, I'm never going to have room for clients to book calls with me. So jump in the description, get yourself a call booked. I'm happy to chat with you and give you some advice one-to-one over the call. But other than that, that should be it. So Grant, thank you for speaking to me, mate.
Yeah, good shit, bro.
Good having you, man.
Having me.
Absolutely. Right, peace out, boys. That'll do.
Oh, yeah.